Are you ready for August 17th, 2024's NAR Regulations? I hope so. I know I am. Kathy Burns here. I am a realtor in the Lake Norman area, just north of Charlotte with EXP. So let's talk about that. I had 2 calls yesterday from agents. One was with EXP and one wasn't. And both said, hey, what are we supposed to do? What? You're not ready yet? I said to the one who wasn't with EXP, I said, hey, isn't your firm teaching you all about this? And he goes, well, they just did. He goes, but I didn't want to pay attention until it was getting close. He goes, because they kept changing. Well, and I got his point on that. And you know what? The other agent said the same thing. I got their point because it isn't consistent. It hasn't, there's a concept, but are the details all fine-tuned? Not really. They just keep little bitty things still keep popping up. So anyway, I said, well, the bottom line is, Joey, that was my buddy who called me from a non-EXP scenario. I said, here's the deal. It's always been negotiable, and you'll just have that with your clients. You're going to be confident, and you're just going to talk to whether you represent the seller or the buyer. But let's start with the seller. So you represent the seller. Oh, by the way, if you like this kind of stuff, please subscribe below, because I'm clamoring for people to ask questions and hang out with me, spread the word, and help me move this along. So if that's you, come on, do it. All right, back to my discussion. So anyway, he says, I don't know what I'm supposed to say. I said, well, you just got to let them know it's always been negotiable. Still want to do it? Do you want to get your home sold? Do you want to make it as smooth as possible? You can negotiate your commission with me. You can negotiate how much you're going to give to the other side. That's the ruling. You get to do all that. Now, let's talk what makes sense. Me, I have X rate that I want to work for. Are you willing to pay that? Yes. If they're not, no. What are you willing to pay? Do you want to negotiate with you as the agent? Do you want to negotiate? You can. And they can too. So do it, whatever you want to do. And I do as well. So now we've decided that. Now you got to tell them, here's what the buyers are going to be expecting. You cannot, I as your agent, I cannot put that percent in the MLS anymore where it was simple and easy to find out how much you were offering. That is no longer on the table. But I can put it in all my marketing as long as it's not tied to the MLS in my marketing. So I could do a Facebook Live and I could be out front of your house and I say, hey, welcome to 123 Main, where we just went live in this beautiful house. We are offering the buyer's agent 3% commission. I can say that, right? I can talk all about the house. I can show the house. I can do a Facebook Live. I can even do that in print. I can do that in a video, as long as nothing links to the MLS site, right? So it's going to be a little more challenging. Yes. Can we do it? Yes. So now I have also notified the buyers. So now let's talk about from the buyer side. So the buyer's agent is going to say, hey, the sellers now, as always, have been able to negotiate their commission. Now they just can't put it in the MLS. I am going to need to call that agent on each one of the houses that you want to look at and find out how much they're paying. I need to know from you, if they're not offering anything, you're going to need to pay me. Will you do that? And I'll have you sign this form, and it's a contract where you're going to say, yes, I will pay you. And that will happen at closing. And I will pay you X percent that you and I negotiate and agree. Now, that percent that you and I negotiate and agree to could be different from what they're offering over there. If they were only offering 2.5, and I said I work for 3, are you willing to pay me the difference? Because that's what I'll be expecting. And that's the kind of conversation you have. Why should I pay you 3 if they're only doing 2.5? And that's where my buyer's presentation is going to break down all the things that I do in that and why I feel validated in that. Now, can they negotiate and say, well, will you work for 2.5? Maybe I will, maybe I won't. That's up to the two of you to negotiate. Put that on the form. But sign it before you go to show any property. That's the requirement now. You have to have a signed buyer's agency agreement for whatever period of time you do. If it's just one house, EXP has got a one house buyer agency agreement, which I think is amazing, because a lot of people call up a sign and they just want to go look at one house. So we do a one house, 1 day deal. And if they want to put an offer on that contract, great, we're going to do it. And I would also make sure that if they decided tomorrow they wanted to do it, I would still protect it. And there's ways to do that within the form. The point is, you just have to negotiate, be clear about it, let them know all the stuff that's going to go on. Do not go show that house without a signed buyer agency agreement. Are you going to have to probably call a lot more seller's agents than you did before? Yes. Are seller's agents going to want to put things different? I have to find out if you're allowed to put it in the showing time, because if I am, that's where I'm going to put it. And how my message will be, I am going to verify this, that my message will be that I want to see a copy of the buyer's agent agreement before you come to the house. And I'm just going to ask for it in an email format. Just take a picture of it. You can white out their email address, phone number. I don't need to see that. I just want to see the form, the date that it's signed, and your client's name, so that when you come show that property at my listing, I'll know that you had that. And you say, well, that's over the top. Well, I want to be protecting myself, because this is a crazy time. I'm going to be protecting myself. And what if you have multiple offers? Yeah, it's going to be a lot of paperwork. What if I don't get them all? Then I don't get them all. I'm going to do the best that I can. See what I'm saying? I have pushback all the time, like, how's that going to work? How's that going to work? Make it work the best that you can. The whole goal here is it's just simple. They get to negotiate. They can't put it in the MLS. None of your advertising with that percent can be tied to the MLS. It's always been negotiable. It's still negotiable. How are you going to present it? With confidence that you are worth whatever it is. And it's really basically it. You just got to do it and get familiar with the forms. I would encourage you to have that buyer's presentation, especially for new people, newer agents and new people to you, because they don't necessarily know what buyer's agents do a lot. Same thing with a seller's agent. A lot of people don't have any idea what we do. You need a seller's listing presentation, because you need to have all those things broken down and what you do. We got to validate our worth, because you're putting in hours. It doesn't happen overnight, right? It doesn't take tomorrow to have that house ready to go on the market and all the things that have to be done. Yes, the seller and you are a team. That's usually how I present it. Hey, we're a team here. We got to make this all happen. Even the time before you come on that listing appointment, aren't you working? Aren't you figuring out the price of that property and spending a lot of time on that, figuring it all out? You bet you are. So value who you are. All right. Are you going to do it? Yes. So today is September 17th, 2024. We have 30 days from today, actually probably 31, because July has 31 days in it. But I think you need to be doing it right now, because you get it all comfortable and geared up. Your people are all ready for it. Just make it happen. This is not that big a deal. It's cumbersome, but you'll get used to it, and it'll all work out. I swear. So give me your questions below. Give me that feedback saying, no, Kathy, I don't like that at all. Or, Kat, that was great. Really prefer to hear that. Or, I'd love to follow you more. Please subscribe. I'd love for you to do that. And I got tons of videos that are short and sweet like this. And I'm looking for people who want to run with me at EXP. So if you're thinking, hey, I like how you got trained at your company, I want to come check your company out, I'd love for you to do that. Come check it out. Let's book a strategy call. All right? Thanks, guys. See you on the next one.